precious metals, gold, silver, and to a lesser degree platinum, are all very, very good things for you to own with what is coming. Now, we've had a letter from an email from Mike in Hawaii who asked Mr. Chapman, and he said, you've had Robert Chapman on who says to buy gold and silver, but we've had other guests on who have said silver is more of an industrial metal, and silver, they're producing more of it than ever, and silver is nothing to be buying because it's not going to go up in value. And I personally don't agree with it, but I think Mike would like to hear the response from you, Mr. Chapman, because you have been so accurate on so much over so many years.
Well, silver has been in short supply since 1968, and that means that there's been more consumed every year than what is produced, and the above-ground supplies that were available are coming to an end that was making up that shortfall. 70% approximately of silver comes as a byproduct of mining, lead and zinc, and sometimes copper. And so there is a current shortage of silver, and it will continue at least out for 10 years. And if we have a deflationary depression eventually, then I would think that mining would be somewhat subdued. Mining in the sense that the companies would be going after base metals, the lead, zinc, and copper, and they would not be doing as much as that, and so they wouldn't be getting as much silver either. So the fundamentals for silver, like gold, are very, very strong, and so I think the gentleman is misinformed.
I will have to agree with you, because I think silver is much more than industrial metal, and the production of silver, like you say, is going to be limited as the demand for commodities becomes more and more limited in a deflationary world. And silver has always been, you had the silver that was basically throughout history was controlled by the Asians, the gold was controlled by the Egyptians going back that far before, and it has always been a basis of currency going back thousands of years.
And that's true, although since 1968, silver has not been used as a monetary metal generally. But silver is a good investment. Some people think it's better than gold. I like them both. I like to be heavier in gold than I am in silver because it's a monetary metal. It's my preference. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I've been doing this for over 50 years, and I think I get a fairly good handle on it. But to say that silver is not in line to perform very well like gold is short-sighted. I think it'll do very well.
I think you're absolutely 100% correct. You wrote something in this issue of the International Forecaster that I've never seen before. You have to, this time you said it could cost not only your assets but your life. Especially when war's being prepared for you to engage in. Nothing's really as it seems to be. There's no coincidences. You're about to enter a world of chaos from which few will survive unscathed. A world of no banks, no public facilities, no food, rampaging gangs of desperate people, unemployment of 50%, little law and order. Violence will be rife. In other words, you better have yourself a gun. Thank God that the Supreme Court did what they were doing by allowing us to have guns. Inflation, hyperinflation, will rob you of your assets. This is pretty dire stuff, Mr. Chapman. Really, I mean, you're looking at the worst-case scenario of an implosion, and most of our services becoming very, very difficult to get hold of. It's hard to wrap your mind around something this austere, you know it?
Yeah, it really is. You know, you don't like to have to talk about this, but if you look at all the facts and you look at history and you put everything together, you come up with a mosaic. And that mosaic tells you that we're headed for trouble. And it's as simple as that. And, you know, I don't enunciate it. I try to bring what I feel is the information that people don't have, that is very difficult to get, that exposes what's going on in a calm and uneventful manner. I don't sensationalize anything. I do it matter-of-factly. I did this, that, and the other thing, and this is my conclusion. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay. And I've been publishing now for over 20 years, and I've been right 98% of the time. And actually, that's unfortunate, because most of the things I predicted that have come true have been very negative for people. But it's not easy going outside the box. I've been harassed over and over and over again, and that's okay, because people like to think that they can bowl you over and subject you to persecution because of your ideas, and that doesn't cut it with me. I don't care what they think. And I just do what I do.
You can persecute Robert Chapman all you want to, but look at his track record. His track record has been absolutely 98% flawless. I'm hoping and praying that you're wrong about this, but in my own mind, I know that you're right. In my heart, I want you to be wrong. I know you want to be wrong, but in our mind, if you aren't preparing for this, you could be in a world of hurt. It's sort of like people said about belief in God. If I believe in God and there is a God, I've gained everything. If I believe in God and there isn't a God, I haven't lost anything. Well, the same thing on this. If you believe this is going to happen, you're prepared for it, you're not losing anything. But if you believe that it's going to happen and it does happen, then you may have been able to have saved your life. Now, the euro, you say, is doomed. They're raising taxes. The cut in spending will cause deflationary depression, unemployment. States, cities, towns in Europe and in the U.S. and all over the world are already suffering from this. And yet at the G8 and G20 meeting, you had places like Canada trying to tell the U.S. and the world what to do. You need to get your house in order, you need to cut this, that, and the other. This is a country with an economy the size smaller than Texas, much less California, telling the world what they need to do. And they're raising their taxes in Canada like crazy. It's a socialist country, much aligned with the entire Western Europe. And they're having this meeting that they've spent over $1 billion, and they're telling the U.S. what to do on this. The euro's about ready to tank, and Europe's about ready to go under, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll take a while. And what most people don't think about is the countries that are owed all that money, and the banks that are owed all that money by the 5 nations that are in trouble that are called pigs, which are Portugal, Ireland, Italy, Spain, and Greece.
We'll come back and we'll talk about the countries that are owed the money, the pig nations.